Is it the exercise or is it the reps? This was the question that I wanted to answer today. So you guys know my struggles with the hip pain and how I resolved it with just basically doing deadlifts prior to the squats. Well, I didn't just do deadlifts. I did deadlifts for max, like crazy volume with very, very small weight. So stuff like, 40 kilos, 60 kilos for sets of 10 for like, 5 sets each, like a lot of volume with weight that's way under 50% of my 1 rep max. So, basically my hip has been feeling fantastic ever since that. And so I would do the deadlifts and then I would come and do the squats and my squats would just feel fantastic. So last night I'm thinking to myself, is it really fair to conclude that the squat is actually bad for the hip and the deadlift is good for the hip? Or is it the way I'm applying these two exercises in my program? So in order for you to make a comparison, you kind of need to control some variables, right? And so today I came in, this is why you're seeing me squat, and this is what I did. I did the bar for 3 sets of 10. I did 60 kilos for 5 sets of 10. I did 100 kilos for 5 sets of 5. And I did 140 kilos for 3 sets of 3. And then I finished up with the top single of 160 for 1. That is a lot of volume, and there is a lot of volume underneath 50% of my 1 rep max. And guess what I felt? No pain in the hip. So it is very hard for me to make a conclusion right now, maybe because my hip is feeling really good from the previous days of deadlifting. But right now I'm thinking to myself, without a doubt, I'm keeping the deadlift as a daily, without a doubt. The deadlift is just, I'm not messing around with that ever again. I'm gonna do deadlifts every single day off the floor. The question now is, do I have to do it before squats? Because yesterday, I ended up doing deadlifts, squats, and then deadlifts. I wanted to finish the kind of lower portion of my workout with deadlifts. I just wanted to kind of reset the hips, if you will. Just reset them with just pulling, and glute max is fine, and then the ITB is fine, everything's fine. So this morning, today I walked in and I thought, well, I really want to finish the workout with the deadlifts, but I don't want to go deadlifts, warm up, squat, and then deadlifts after as well. Why don't I just use the squat and just take it for many reps? Kind of like I did with the deadlift, but just use the squat as a warm up. The question in my mind was, is my hip pain related to not warming up sufficiently? Now that is a very embarrassing question to me, to ask myself. After so many days of squatting, after dedicating so much of my time, it is a very embarrassing question to ask somebody that's devoted so much time to that craft and potentially messing up such a basic component, such a basic concept, warm up. So, for a very long time in the squat everyday program, I didn't have hip pain. And my warm-ups were basically the same as they were until 3 days ago. So something has changed, and maybe what's changed is that I need now more warm-up. So this is what I'm thinking right now. Obviously, if you do so many sets, so many reps, you won't be able to have such a tall peak in your training, right? I hit 160 for 1, and my legs were jelly, and I'm sweaty, and I'm tired, and you can see the sweat on my arm is just, I'm tired. So we all know what we like. Maybe I don't like high intensity training. Maybe I need high volume training, but not just any high volume. I'm talking about low intensity, high volume. I read a piece on T-Nation last night, and they were talking about like 4 different types of lifters: intensity guys, volume guys, and 2 other components as well, kind of like and analytics guys, and there was another one I forget, I think power building or something like this. I've always responded really well to volume. When I hit my 140 kilos for 1 bench press PR, this was on the back of doing greasing the groove, doing basically hundreds of reps of push-ups every single day. When I hit my 200 times 1 first time, it was in the back of doing sets of 50 with the bar, sets of 30 with 100 kilos, that kind of thing. I seem to respond really well to just very low intensity, high volume. So this is where I'm at right now mentally. I am now questioning whether the deadlift is doing what it seems to be doing, or is it just that I'm having a very extended warm-up with the deadlift. Now, we all know that the deadlift and the squat hit basically the same muscle groups. It's just a different range of motion and different kind of back angle and whatnot. But essentially, they do a similar thing. They extend the hip and they extend the knee. The squat, obviously, much more acute angles. And so in my mind last night, like all of these ideas were swirling in my mind, and I thought to myself, how is the squat being outperformed by the deadlift in terms of health of the human body? Is the range of motion really that bad for me? And then it occurred to me, well, I'm not comparing apples to apples, man. I'm taking the deadlift not like I'm taking the squat. The squat, I go barbell for 10, 60 for 10, 100 for 5, 140 for 1, 160 for 1, 180 for 1, and that's my freaking day. Whereas with the deadlift the other day, or yesterday even, I went, 5 sets of, well, actually yesterday I did 10 sets of 10 with 60. Then I did 5 sets of 10, 5 sets of 5 with 100. Like, I did a lot of reps. And so I just thought, okay, when I walk in today, I'm going to basically do exactly what I did with the deadlift yesterday. Just use the squat and just do a shit ton of reps, a prolonged warm-up. Just really work under that bar with 50%, sub 50% weight. And right now I'm thinking to myself, man, this is the way of the future for me. Very small exercise selection, squat, deadlift, and take many sets, many repetitions with 50% and below reps. I'm gonna have to periodize. I can't do the same workout every single day. So tomorrow when I come in, I'm gonna do maybe a smaller warm up for the squat and then spend more energy on the deadlift. So I'm gonna alternate the two. I'm gonna have like a squat day and deadlift day as such. I'll be doing both every single day, but I'm just gonna go, I guess, heavy volume squat, heavy volume deadlift, and just do that for the next few days and see how my body responds. But historically speaking, it has responded really well to high volume, low intensity. That's where my mind is right now, guys. I hope that kind of, gives you food for thought as well. But that's all for today. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.